Good day, everybody. My name is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of The Psychology of Persuasion, The Science of Influence, 22 other books that have been translated into 43 other languages all across the world. Thank you for making that possible. Today, we begin a series on tactics and tricks. And I hesitate nowadays to use the word tricks, but then I thought, you know what? Tricks can be fun, magic tricks, right? And that's really what persuasion is sometimes, is that, you know, when the barriers of good old-fashioned basic, well, how are you today? I don't want to talk about it, break down, and everybody has their relationship issues and their challenges at the office, at home, wherever. It really can pay off to have a tactic, a trick, something to make the world a little bit better place. So today, I give myself permission, and you too, to have a little bit of fun with persuasion tricks and tactics. Do realize, of course, that as always, all influence that we do is for change that's positive, changing people's minds, getting people to do stuff that they really need to do, like lose 100 pounds. Don't buy a brand new car when that'll last 10 more years, and so on and so forth. Today, the Create Calm tactic. The Create Calm tactic is really, really important. And the Create Calm tactic is designed to work with somebody who is very anxiety-ridden, or they're under stress, or they're angry, or they're very frustrated. So let me give you an example. Say that you have been audited by the IRS, right? And say that you're going in today and your attorney has read The Psychology of Persuasion or watched this specific video. And he says, oh, I'm going to use my Create Calm tactic with my client. What he would do is he would say something like, imagine that we're walking into the audit at the IRS's office and you're quiet and you let me take the heat. All the fire comes to me, okay? Because that's the way we work. That's the way you don't pay more money in taxes. Anything else and we lose, and it's painful. So you let me take the heat. All the fire comes towards me, and you get to sit and relax, okay? All right? So what happened here? What we did is we took a metaphor, in this case, fire, and we brought it towards me and away from another person, right? Very simple. This is a behavioral change tactic, right? So let me give you the model. Okay, I'm going to do that today. This will take a few minutes. So basically, it works like this. If you want to change somebody's behavior, you have to isolate the negative emotion that they have, which in this case is terror, right? There is no terrorist worse than going to the IRS's office. So you're going into the office and your attorney's trying to keep you like inside of your skin so you just don't jump all over the place. So he has to identify, okay, so Kev is a little nervous today, and nervous, right? And the behavioral plan, he has to script a behavioral plan for you. So imagine that you see somebody over here that's smoking cigarettes, okay? And you don't want them smoking cigarettes, okay? You'd rather have them do something else. That's a very logical thing. But of course, logic is irrelevant when it comes to persuading everybody except for experts in a very specific niche, and you're talking to them in their language, okay? Otherwise, this is all about reptiles and emotions, okay? Layer 1 of the brain, layer 2 of the brain. So the person's smoking cigarettes and you say, stop it. And they're making all kinds of rude comments with their mouth, and you say, shut up. And the child over here is screaming and yelling while Kevin is trying to make a video upstairs, and you go, behave. And what happens? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. None of these things work. Now, you would think that by saying, shut up, stop it, behave, that something good would have happened. But it doesn't, because it can't. Because you haven't made any behavioral change. The behavior they had simply got interrupted by words, okay? So what happens is that you create a very specific behavioral script. Cigarettes. Imagine I'm talking to my brother. I love my brother. I got a bunch of brothers, and I got a bunch of sisters. It's not even a fair question. You know, test in the old days, how many brothers and sisters do you have? It was like a trick question. It was like, now does that include people that live with you, your half-brothers and sisters, the people that are your step-brothers and sisters, or does it include people who aren't in the family actually at all, but are still brothers and sisters? And they were like, just write down a number, right? So the negative emotion is you want the person to stop smoking cigarettes, and you don't want to antagonize them. They're antagonized. They're feeling antagonized. So you say, look, Bill, My brother's name isn't Bill. But if it was Bill, I would say, hey, Bill, here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you to stop smoking cigarettes. I know how hard it is. You probably feel like you're addicted. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that stuff really is addictive. I'll bet you if you were in Africa and you ran out of cigarettes, now just imagine this for a second. This is what I call, by the way, guys, this is a sub-technique, the Africa technique. The Africa technique is if you're in the middle of like Kenya and you had cigarettes and there's no town for 100 miles and you don't smoke tonight, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, and you can't buy cigarettes for a month, what happens? Nothing. Okay, you're addicted to everything and nothing. Okay, that's the way I look at it. All right. So anyway, so we're sitting here with cigarettes, and I say, Bill, I need you to consider this possibility. Okay, goal is not to antagonize you. I know you're frustrated. So what I brought him from antagonism to frustrated. Right? Saw that part right there. Okay. So what I want to do is I just want to paint one picture. I just want 1 minute. I want you to imagine your son and your daughter, and I want you to imagine that your daughter should probably give birth first, given that she's substantially older. So let's just say that she has your first granddaughter. That's pretty cool, right? Remember when she was born? I mean, it's cool, right? And then when you see a granddaughter, that's got to be super cool. Because remember how you were to your grandparents? They loved you a lot, and they hung out with you, and they took us places, and all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine if they would have smoked, and they would have died, and then we never would have had the good times that we did together when we were kids? So I'm not going to drive you crazy by telling you what to do. I just want you to think, shh, Morgan has a child, and the child grows up to be sort of like you, and you have grandparents, which is you, and you really are your grandfather, you know, if nobody else is. And what would your grandfather want you to do now going forward so you could ensure that moment with that grandchild? And that's it. Okay, so what I did is I created the behavioral plan, which is I just let him come up with the solution, right, which is to stop smoking cigarettes, okay? And if I wanted to continue with the behavioral plan, I would do this. I would say, look, and if you want a strategy, what I've been told works is not to go cold turkey, okay? But what I've heard is that if you knock it down from 3 packs a day to 1 pack a day after a week, and then after 2 weeks go to a half a pack, and then after 3 weeks go to 2 cigarettes, and after 4 weeks you go to a cigarette, and after 5 weeks you get a cigarette on Saturday, and then you're done, basically. And by the way, don't freak out if you ever smoke again. It's okay. You'll live. One time, I'm not worried about it, okay? All right? And that's it. So what you have is you have the behavioral change script, which brings the person into the future, okay? Very important, on something that's very special to them. In this case, the experiences they had as a child and the experiences they want their daughter and future grandchild to have. And we attach it to a behavioral plan, which is how to actually do it. 3, 1, a few, half a pack, a couple of cigarettes, and down to a cigarette. Cool? Okay, if you can do all that, and don't do anything else for like a month in influence, that is probably one of the most powerful patterns that you'll ever learn in your life. Cool? Okay, guys, I'll see you here next time.